Hello and welcome to our look at the upcoming week of October 19th in the binary options markets. I have the economic calendar in front of you, and you can see Monday is going to be a very interesting session as there's almost nothing to move the markets with the exception of, and the calendar here doesn't show it, industrial production numbers coming out of China. That gives us a general heads up as to what the overall feeling and risk appetite of the market might be. After Monday, we've got Tuesday's RBA meeting minutes. That could be a big mover for the Australian dollar. Pay attention to that. We have building permits out of the United States. That's not high anymore. That was more or less a leftover from the housing boom days. At this point in time, it could maybe move the markets a little bit, the stock markets in the U.S., but beyond that, wouldn't expect too much. As we roll into the Tuesday session, you can see that we have a BOC, Bank of Canada, rate statement, interest rate decision, all of that. That, of course, is going to be huge for the Canadian dollar. We also have crude oil stock exchange, so we could get a bit of a double whammy on the loonie if the oil markets move in the same direction, so to speak. This, of course, is going to be big for WTI oil. A little later on, in the 22nd, we have the interest rate decision out of Europe, and that, of course, is going to be huge for the euro. Not necessarily the statement itself or the decision itself, but probably more the statement. Just kind of see where everybody's at as far as interest rate expectations, that kind of thing, inflation in Europe, etc. So Thursday's probably going to be the big day. As we roll into America initial jobless claims, that, of course, moves the stock markets. And as we get a little bit further into the week, at that point in time, we have PMI out of Germany and European Union. That, of course, moves the euro and the DAX. And then we have CPI out of Canada. That will move the Canadian dollar. And then after that, we just kind of drift out of the week fairly quietly. The euro dollar was pretty interesting this week because on the weekly chart, we ended up forming a shooting star. However, Friday's candle is a hammer, so we get a little bit of a mixed signal. Shorter term attempt to go higher. Really, at this point in time, if we can break above the top of the range for the week, which is basically 115, we feel at this time the market will grind itself much higher. And it is forming an ascending triangle at this point. So unless there's some type of serious breakdown, this pair is probably going to break to the upside. In the dollar Canadian dollar, you can see we've fallen almost all the way down to the 1.28 level. This area was pretty supportive or resistive, in the past, and now it's offering support. So we're anticipating a bounce, but below 128, we feel at that point in time the trend will probably go to the downside again. So keep an eye on the 128 level. That is huge. The DAX fell during the course of the week and then turned back around to form a hammer. It's right at support. It does look like the DAX is going to go higher given enough time, so therefore we are buyers on a break above the top of the range for the week, which is somewhere around 10,200. Recognize that there is noise just above, so it's not going to be an easy move, but eventually we will break out to the upside. With that, we've taken a look at the upcoming October 19th week in the binary options markets.